Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's another week, another episode review. Today we're covering Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Season 3, Episode 6, Challenge Toward the Future. So this episode focuses on Erica and Now and their card fight. And we get to see some interesting motivation from both sides, as well as some character development. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. If you do, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and let's talk about it. So the episode opens up with a flashback of Erica in her apartment, and she ends up looking at the plushie that was Gabwelius, and she declares that she wants to live in this world, and since she decided it, she needs to win the Deluxe and become a pro. Now, this is the first time we've heard of Erica talking about being a pro, but they go very quickly into why she says that. We get, of course, the announcement of Now versus Erica. Akina is like stressing, he doesn't know who to cheer for. Kuan tells him to cheer for anybody. Suo tells him he has to pick. But before the fight, we jump over to Erica talking to Taizo. So since the last 2 seasons, Taizo has been like Erica's best friend. He's always been there to help her out, give her advice. He's taken care of her. He even set her up for success when she decided to stay in this world. But Erica basically reveals her motivation to Taizo. She wants to win so that way she can skip part of the pro exam and become a pro card fighter. She basically says that everybody's been so kind to her, and she's basically been living off everybody's kindness, and she wants to be able to make her own way, and the best way for her to do that is to become a pro card fighter. Now we jump over to Now, and Now's kind of planning her way through what she's going to do for her card fight, and Kagetsu shows up to basically see how she's doing. And we get a little bit of a look into Now's psyche. And while at first Now is just like, I'm excited, this is going to be fun, she admits that she's really, really nervous that when she was, up and coming, if she didn't perform, nobody even noticed her. And now that she's a pro, whether she wins or loses, people come to see her, but it gives her extreme anxiety every time. She gets the jitters, she gets nervous, she wants to be able to still perform. So it's really interesting to see this side of Now. We get to the actual fight, and before the fight, Now basically asks Erica, do you resent me? That everything that happened to Akina in her timeline was basically Now's fault. She introduced him to Vanguard, she got him into the Fated Clash, which eventually led to his death. And Erica says, you know what, I don't know, but with everything that Akina was doing, working, school, taking care of Ikari, whenever he would come home from work, he would talk about how much fun he had with his mentor, which was Now. She basically made his days bearable, and she thanks him for that. But after all the sappy stuff, we get into the card fight. So we get our starters. Erica is playing Prayer of Oliphant Belenista, and Now has Heated Blade Artheart. Now, for anybody that hasn't seen my covers of the episodes, I talk about it every time. They do not emphasize their draw for turn or their energy charge, so just assume that they happened. There's also going to be some effects that they don't announce. I did my best to cover which ones those were, so if I missed one, I apologize. But let's jump into turn 1. So turn 1, Erica rides Player of the Lily Harp Adorphus. Passes turn. Quick and simple. Turn 2, Now rides a Blaze Ember Dragon. Now attacks with Blaze Ember Dragon. Erica doesn't guard. Now doesn't get a trigger. And Erica takes 1 damage. So the damage is a quick 1-0. Now this is kind of what happens with this entire card fight. This card fight is super fast because it's mostly because these are battle phase decks where they do all their tricks during the battle phase. So the turns aren't super complicated with like chain calls and draws and stuff like that. It goes by pretty quick. Turn 3, Erica rides Player of the Beautiful Chords Elegenia and uses Adorphus skill. When this unit is rode upon by player of the Beautiful Chord Elegenia, Soul Blast 1, draw 2 cards, choose up to 1 normal unit from your hand and discard it. If you did not discard a normal unit, choose 2 cards from your hand and discard them. Erica also calls Gragon. I hope I said that right. And then Erica attacks with Elegenia. Now guards. Erica doesn't get a trigger. Erica then attacks with the Gragon. There we go. Gregaon. Now guards this one as well. Erica makes a comment about Now not taking any damage, but Now is basically planning ahead. She knows that Erica's gonna be able to go off on her first, so she's like, you know what, let me not take any damage. But the damage is 1-0, now is in the lead. Turn 4, now rides Boulder Axe Dragon and uses Blaze Ember skill. When this unit is rode upon by Boulder Axe, call this card to rearguard and soul charge 1. So now calls out the Blaze Ember Dragon. Now attacks with Boulder Axe, boosted by Blaze Ember. Erica is in guard, now gets no trigger, Erica takes 1 damage. So now the damage is 2-0 and now still in the lead. We get a funny yet kind of cringy interaction between Erica and Now, where basically Erica asks if Now and Akina have made any progress, and Now gets all embarrassed. What are you talking about? She's like, if it's you, I'm okay with it. But then she says something that was really fucking weird, where she says that if you don't want him, I'll take him. And I'm like, I know you're from a different timeline, but that's still your brother. I kind of like gave it the side eye, you know what I mean? But she ends up saying, you know, she's just teasing, and then we move on to turn 5. Turn 5 is our first like decent sized turn. So Erica rides phase 1 of time Liel Immorta and uses Ella Genius skill. Auto, when this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 card with Liel in its card name, choose any number of normal units from your drop, put them to the bottom of your deck in any order. If you chose 3 or more cards, draw 1 card. Erica calls Sequence Wizard and uses its skill. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard during your main phase, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liel in its card name, Counterblast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 list card from among them, call it to rearguard, shuffle the deck. With this skill, Erica calls Sword Saint of, I hate this name, Itinerant Idiris. I hate that part of the name. Erica then calls Swordsman of Twin Stance Ishtir from hand. Erica attacks with Idiris, boosted by Ishtir, now guards. Erica attacks with Liel, uses its skill. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, bind it, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as the unit. Call it to rear guard, shuffle the deck. So Erica binds Idiris, calls another Idiris from the deck, and activates its skill. It has 2 skills, one of them is continuous, so I'm just going to go over both. Continuous rear guard during your turn. Continuous rear guard during your turn. If your bind zone has a card with the same name as this unit gets 10,000 power, so it's going to have plus 10,000 power now. And then auto, when this unit is bound from rear guard during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liel in its card name, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, choose one of your Vanguards, gets 5,000 power till end of turn. And then Erica activates Ishtir's skill, which is auto backward rear guard. When your rear guard in the same column as this unit is bound by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liel in its card name, stand this unit. Now doesn't guard. Erica doesn't get a trigger, now takes her first damage. Erica then attacks with Sequence Wizard, now doesn't guard, now takes 1 damage. And then Erica attacks with Idiris, now guards. Turns over, the damage is now 2-2, it's even. Turn 6, now rides Faded One of Unparalleled Varga Dragras. This turn's a little more complicated. Now uses Boulder Axe's skill. Auto, when this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 or greater card with Varga in its card name, call this card to rear guard. Now calls a new card, Eluding Dragon. I'm assuming it's got a longer name than that. But she calls Eluding Dragon, and she calls Battle Monk of Raging Flames Rokusai from hand, and then uses Rokusai's skill. When this card is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Varga in its card name, your opponent cannot intercept until end of turn. Now moves to our battle phase and attacks with Boulder Axe. Erica guards. Now attacks with Eluding Dragon. So we find out that Eluding Dragon's skill, continuous. When your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater with Varga in its card name, this unit gets 10,000 power, 10,000 shield. Erica guards. Now attacks with Varga Dragras, uses its skill. Auto Vanguard once per turn. When this unit attacks Vanguard, counterblast 1, retire all of your and your opponent's front row rear guards. And this unit gets 10,000 power until end of turn. At the end of that battle, stand this unit. And it gets drive -2 until end of turn. And then we get to see what Eluding Dragon actually does. When it's retired by the effect of your Vanguard Varga in its card name, it returns to your hand. I don't see the deck playing this card. We have better B6. Abderasi Live is a better version of this card. Like, sure, it bounces back to your hand, but for a 10k shield. But very Anyway. Erica doesn't guard and now gets a draw trigger, giving the power to her Vanguard. Erica takes 1 damage, now stands Varga Dragras and attacks again. Erica hesitates for a second and then takes the damage. I thought she was like worried about taking the damage, but she gets a critical trigger on her damage check and then looks now straight in the face and is like, are you gonna use your divine skill? And now thinks about it Now, for anybody that doesn't remember Varga Dragos' divine skill, it's auto Vanguard at the end of the battle. This unit attacked a grade 3 or greater unit. If your opponent's damage zone has 4 or more cards in it, and this unit attacked 2 or more times this turn, you can counter +1 instead. This unit gets drive +2. But between the damage trigger and the size of Erica's hand, now decides against it and passes turn. So now the damage is 4-2, now is in the lead. Erica explains her motivation about why she's participating in the Deluxe and why she wants to win. And she tells now by beating somebody who's already where she wants to be, that's her challenge for a better future. But we go into turn 7. Erica persona rides. Erica calls Knight of Glistening Blade Regiale. Sorry, that name's another weird name. But she uses its skill. Auto when this unit is played on rear guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liel in its card name, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 a grade 3 or greater card with Liel in its card name, or up to 1 less Dragon Gabwelius from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. And then continuous rear guard during your turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Liel in its card name, this unit gets 5,000 power. If Blessed Dragon Gabwelius is on your rear guard or in your bind zone, it gets 10,000 power instead of 5,000 power. She checks the top 7, she adds Gabwelius to her hand, and she calls it. Erica calls another copy of Gregaon. Erica attacks with Gabwelius, now guards. Erica attacks with Liel Immorta, uses its skill. She binds Gabwelius, calls another Gabwelius from the deck, and uses Gabwelius' skill. Auto when this unit is placed on rear guard, so +1, look at the top cards of your deck, put it to the top or bottom of your deck. If you put it to the bottom of your deck, this unit gets 5,000 power until the end of turn. She does bottom deck the card, so Gab gains some power. Now guards, and Erica gets a critical trigger on her twin drive, giving both effects to Gabwelius. Erica activates Immorta's divine skill. Auto Vanguard at the end of the battle. This unit attacked. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose a card with the same name as this unit from your drop, and you may ride it as stand. If you wrote it, that unit gets -1 drive until end of turn. Erica then attacks with Gabwelius, activates its skill. Auto rearguard when this unit attacks. If your damage zone has 4 or more cards until end of that battle, this unit gets 5,000 power. If this unit was played on rearguard by the ability of your Vanguard with Faded 1 in its card name this turn, and no drive checks were performed from a battle your rearguard attacked, this turn, counterblast 1, this unit gets 10,000 power and drive -1 instead of 5,000 power and performs drive checks. Now guards with a perfect guard. Erica gets no trigger. Erica then attacks with Religia. Now doesn't guard, takes 1 damage. After that battle, Erica uses Gregaon's skill. Continuous rearguard. If your unit was placed by the ability of your Vanguard with Divine skill, this turn, this unit gets auto rearguard at the end of the battle. This unit boosted, retire this unit, countercharge 1, and it gains 5k. Erica attacks with Liel Immorta again and uses its skill. Erica binds Religiel and calls the second one from the deck. Erica uses the skill of the second Religiel and adds a copy of Liel Immorta from the top 7 to her hand. That's actually a really, really cool move because of the way Liel Immorta works. We'll talk about that on the next turn. But now doesn't guard, and Erica gets a critical on her drive check, now takes 2 damage. Erica attacks with a new Religiel and now uses her perfect guard, leaving her with 1 card in hand. Turns over. Damage is now 5-4 with Erica in the lead. Now explains that this stage is also a challenge for her, that she still wants to perform and prove adult results, showing that she deserves to be a pro. And then she hits us with a hard ass line. I shall engulf the power of evil and use it as a basis of invincibility. And now rides unparalleled Dragsleaf Varga Dragos Rakshasa. And everybody who has a history with this card goes crazy. They couldn't believe that she's playing Rakshasa. So if you guys remember, Rakshasa was Sybilt's card after she corrupted Varga Dragos. And now basically says she has mixed feelings about the card, but she wants to devour this card's power to become unparalleled. And everybody just kind of rolls with it. So we gotta talk about what her riding this card causes. So Malworm, this is part of the skill of this card. Auto when this unit is placed by routing from a unit with Varga in its different card name from this unit, or from a unit that's already in the Malworm state. Until the end of the fight, this unit is in the Malworm state. And if Persona Ride was not activated by this ride, activate Persona Ride. So basically this gets treated as a Persona Ride. Now calls Twin Pulsive Dragon to use its skill. Auto when this unit is placed on rear guard. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Varga in its card name, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card from among them called to rearguard shuffle the deck. And now gets the absolute best one, which is Drag Rider Shira. And then lastly, now calls a Storm Slasher Dragon from her hand. Now attacks with Twin Pulsive Dragon. Erica guards, now attacks with Shira. Erica doesn't guard and takes 1 damage. And then now attacks with Rakshasa and uses its skill. So Rakshasa has 1 skill that's kind of cut into 2, like the way the timing for it works, and she uses the first half of the skill. I'm going to tell you the whole skill and explain what she does. Auto Vanguard once per turn. When this unit in the Malworm state attacks a Vanguard, retire all front row rear guards, and this unit gets 10,000 power until end of turn. Boom. That's what she does. She swings, retires all front row rear guards, gains 10k. At the end of the battle, counter blast 1, retire all back row rear guards and stay in this unit, and it gets drive -2 until end of turn. That's the second half of the skill. She's not doing that yet. She swings, retires the front row, and then she activates Shura's skill. Auto when this unit is retired from rear guard by the ability of a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vargar in its card name. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counter blast 1, call this card to rear guard, and it gets 10,000 power until end of turn. She also uses Twin Pulsive as effect, but they don't actually declare it. The only reason you figure it out is because they show the numbers. But Twin Pulsive has a similar effect. When Twin Pulsive is retired by the skill of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vargar in its card name, you get to choose one of your Vanguards and give it 5,000 power. So it gains an additional 5,000 power. Erica guards with Liela Morta, and this is where we get to see Liela Morta's third skill. Auto when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, discard a card from hand and put 2 cards from your bonds onto the bottom of your deck in any order. Choose one of your units with faded 1 in its card name and cannot be hit until the end of that battle. It basically turns her into a perfect card. That's why last turn when she played the second Religiel and searched Liela Morta off the top 7, I thought that was a really, really cool move. But off the Twin Drive, now gets a critical and gives both effects to Rakshasa, of course. After the battle, she pays the cost, so she counter blast 1, retires the back row, restands Rakshasa, and though they don't announce it, she uses Storm Slasher's Dragon skill, which is auto. When this unit is retired from the rear guard by the ability of a grade 3 greater Vanguard Vargar in its card name, you may call this card back to the back row rear guard as rest. But if your Vanguard is in the Malworm state, you can Soul Blast 1 and stand this unit. So she calls it behind Shura and restands it. So now she has another full power column that's also powered up by Shura's skill. Now attacks with Rakshasa again. Erica guards. Remember that the second attack has no drive checks. Now then activates Rakshasa's Divine skill. Auto Vanguard at the end of the battle. This unit attacked if this unit stood by this unit's original auto ability. This turn, counter blast 1, stand this unit, and gets drive +2 until end of turn. So now attacks with Rakshasa again. Erica attempts to guard, but she's only able to guard for a 1 to pass, and off of the Twin Drive now gets another critical trigger and gives both effects to Rakshasa, pushing through Erica's guard and taking the game. The damage is 6-5 with now winning. We jump over to the crowd after, a small back and forth of, good game between Erica and now. We jump over to the crowd and we see that Akina is feeling some type of way about this fight. He said this fight was more emotional than the others. He's got jitters all over and he can't explain the feeling he's feeling. And I have a feeling this is going to lead to him understanding why he loves Vanguard. But then we find out that our boy Suo is up next. And, everybody's telling Suo to win. And Suo's like, I got this. And Megumi gets hoed again. We find out it's Suo versus Megumi, and they don't even show the fight. It just jumps straight to the end, and she's already lost. Then it jumps over to Raika. Raika taking on his earbuds, looking all epic, and then it immediately shows him lose to Kagetsu. And it sucks because I would have liked to see Raika versus Kagetsu. That's a fight. But regardless, Megumi never gets to win, and Kagetsu's the main rival of this season, so it makes sense. We do get a quick scene from Kagetsu talking to Raika about, he's talking to Raika about his passion, but he says, your passion's nothing compared to, and he cuts himself off, and we get a flashback of some girl in a memory, and I'm wondering, between his face and her, what's going on, but it just leaves us with more questions about it. But after this match, we find out the first day of qualifiers is over. Everybody goes to a hotel. We see they got a nice ass hotel, and honestly, this makes me want to go to a big Vanguard event again, because I would always get a hotel room, and first thing out of Suo's mouth is, can we play Vanguard here? And I remember staying up late practicing at hotels, and yeah, I want to go do that again. But the last scene we get is Michiru getting ready to fight, and Dan's like, go show them the best fighter is back. And I didn't I started watching the after credits. What to see on next time, and it turns out it's gonna be Taizo versus Michiru, which makes me sad because Taizo's gonna fucking lose. I love Taizo, I love Welstra, but it's Michiru. Michiru's coming back as the final boss, and he's gonna smack Taizo. Let's be real. But that was it for the episode, guys. Again, this one went by very fast, very furious. It felt a lot shorter than the last couple episodes we had. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Bad news, next week there won't be an episode review. I'm not sure if the anime's taking a break or not, but I'm going to be going away for a few days, so I will catch up the following week. So sorry about that, but keep an eye out. Also keep an eye out for the stream schedule. If you guys want to see me play some Cardfight Vanguard live, Tuesday this week coming up, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to have you guys. Got a lot to talk about. You guys will check me on social media. Those links are also down below. That's it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.